fasting and abstinence. There is a difference between fasting and abstinence from flesh meat. The law of fasting commands that there should be only one full meal in the day, but it does not forbid us to take some food in the morning and evening if we keep the approved local custom regarding its quantity and quality. Meat may be eaten at the principal or main meal on a fast day, unless it is also an abstinence day. What is allowed by custom in the morning and evening is made known in each diocese when the regulations are published, usually at the beginning of Lent each year. In the United States, the following is generally the approved local custom. In addition to the one full meal, 2 smaller meals or snacks may also be eaten, sufficient to maintain one's strength, but together they should not equal one's normal full meal. No food may be taken between meals, but liquids, including milk and juice, may be taken between meals. The law of abstinence from flesh meat forbids us to eat meat or soup made from meat, but it does not forbid the use of fish, seafood, the flesh of cold-blooded animals, e.g. turtles, frogs, etc., eggs, milk, or foods made from milk, or any condiments made from animal fats. Who are bound to fast and abstain? Unless lawfully excused or dispensed, all who are of sane mind and have completed their 14th year are bound to abstain, while all who have completed their 18th year but have not begun their 60th year, that is, those who have not reached age 59, are bound to fast. Thus, the obligation to abstain continues until the time of death. The sick who need meat for their recovery are excused from this obligation. Others who need meat in order to maintain their strength for really hard work, e.g. miners and construction workers, are excused. If one doubts whether he is excused from the law but thinks he may have reason to be dispensed from it, he should see a priest from his parish. Those excused from fasting are 1. Those who have not completed their 18th year or who have completed their 59th year. 2. The sick and convalescent. 3. Those whose health fasting would notably impair. 4. Nursing and expectant mothers. 5. Those who do hard manual work. 6. Those engaged in useful occupations, if fasting would interfere with the proper performance of their duty. A sufficient reason for a dispensation may exist in other cases, e.g. of students. In case of doubt, one should consult a priest. When are we bound to fast and abstain? The Church's current regulations in the U.S. require fasting and abstinence from meat on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, and abstinence from meat on the Fridays of Lent. The new Code of Canon Law, 1983, states that all Fridays through the year and the time of Lent are penitential days and times throughout the universal Church, Canon 1250. A pastoral statement by the U.S. National Council of Catholic Bishops, November 18, 1966, stated that abstinence is especially recommended on all Fridays of the year, and that self-imposed observance of fasting on all weekdays of Lent is strongly recommended. According to the Modern Catholic Dictionary by Father John A. Hardin, S.J., Imprimatur 1979, quote, "The abolition of Friday abstinence is a common misapprehension. Friday abstinence was not abolished. Rather, the faithful now have a choice either to abstain from meat or perform some other kind of penance on Fridays. According to the Church's law, the substantial observance of Fridays as days of penance, whether by abstinence or in other ways, is a grave obligation." Pope Paul VI, Penitemini, 1966, Norm 2:2. Abstinence from meat is not required on any holy day of obligation which falls on a day of abstinence. In the new regulations, abstinence is also not required on any solemnity which falls on a Friday of Lent. This would mean the Feast of St. Joseph, March 19, and the Feast of the Annunciation, March 25. As these laws sometimes differ in different places, it is important to find out the diocesan regulations in the matter. Careful attention to the notices read out at church on Sundays will remove most difficulties. Violations of this commandment. No food is allowed outside the 3 meals of breakfast, dinner, and supper that are permitted on a fast day. Liquids which are not generally estimated to be foods do not break the fast. For example, tea, coffee, soft drinks, fruit drinks, milk, etc. are permitted. A substantial violation of fasting would occur if the amount of food allowed were exceeded by about 4 ounces. To eat about 2 ounces of meat on an abstinence day would be a grave violation of the law, unless local diocesan regulations for commuting abstinence to some other penance were being followed. Note, abstinence from meat was traditionally, binding from age 7, and it is excellent for parents to maintain this practice in their families. Moreover, the new Code of Canon Law 1983 states that, quote, pastors and parents are to see to it that minors who are not bound by the law of fast and abstinence are educated in an authentic sense of penance. Canon 1252. Fasting was traditionally, binding from age 21.